Hi, team. We're going to continue with D Day today, looking at the Atlantic Wall and also the obstacles that Hitler and Rommel have put up on the beaches. So the red arrow is pointing at the bunkers that are where the Atlantic Wall is going to be located. Below it, you're going to see that the soldiers who are at top of the Atlantic Wall have a great vantage point, looking down on the beaches and being able to fire upon troops. The reason why they're going to be so exposed on the beaches is because Hitler has been brilliant in laying out obstacles to make sure that tanks cannot enter the beaches and cannot protect the soldiers as they start to storm the beaches. So you're going to have things like the Belgian gates, which are designed to rip the bottoms out of ships, which is why the Higgins boat is going to become so important because it does have a flat bottom. You're looking at teller mines and ramps and hedgehogs, all things that are anti tank and making it very challenging for them to get on shores and be protected. So the soldiers are going to be forced to get out of the boats and to wade in the water and to be very exposed and most likely die because it's going to take a lot of life loss in order for them to save the Normandy beaches and liberate the French. If you're looking at the aerial view here down at the bottom of this image, you see like if you were in a plane looking down at the beaches. We know that tanks aren't agile; they can't just maneuver wherever they want to. So the way that Hitler has it set up, again, make sure that these tanks cannot come off of a carrier and or a duck boat in any way can be loaded up onto the beaches immediately and allow troops to be covered. So these are a couple pictures of Rommel patrolling. So these are actual images of the Atlantic Wall on the left, and on the right would be some of the log ramps. Again, some log ramps, again, anti-tank defenses that we're seeing on the French beaches. If you were to go to Normandy today, the obstacles are off of the beaches, but you could still see pieces like this of the Atlantic Wall, this concrete bunker. The guns are obviously gone, but you could see where they were placed and how they would have been used during the time period. Normandy is a beach today that people travel to for the history. It's not a place that you go to sun and go vacation for fun. You're there kind of as a way to pay tribute and to see almost the cemetery that's been created with the Normandy beaches. So the attack happens over the cover of night in the lull of the storm on June 6th of 1944. The attack on the 5 different beaches. It's going to be when we watch Saving Private Ryan, it'll give you a good idea of what it was like and what it took for them strategically to get past the obstacles and to eventually overrun the Atlantic Wall. But a lot of our success at D Day comes from paratroopers. The use of paratroopers dropping down behind enemy lines, minesweeping, looking for ways to keep troops safe as we continued through France and getting into Belgium. So the list that you're seeing here is all the items that would be in a backpack for a paratrooper. So lots of explosives, anti-tank mines, all the things that you would need to defend yourself, different types of guns. But as you get and knives, as you get beyond like halfway down behind the 3 knives, it's something called a cricket clicker. A cricket clicker is a kid's toy, and you can see a picture of it on the left-hand side. What paratroopers were trained to do was to squeeze the cricket clicker 2 times to symbolize the syllables of thunder and lightning. The reason why they did that is because the storm had happened the 2 previous nights. There's still a lot of high winds, and most of the paratroopers are going to miss their drop spots. They need to reunite with each other to be able to work together. And in order to do that, they can't be calling out each other's names and speaking English because they would have been captured. So they're using these cricket clickers, children's toys, to communicate with each other using the syllables thunder, the syllables lightning, so that they could reconnect and then work together to get their job done. Some of the other famous things that you'd have in those backpacks in the red at the bottom is a K ration. So it was just very fatty foods that would help soldiers survive when they don't have a lot of nutrients or a lot of access to supplies just in their backpacks. Things like condoms that were used to cover the barrel of a gun to prevent mud and sand and other things from getting in the rifle barrel so that they would still be usable and they'd be able to protect themselves. So this is an image from the back of a Higgins boat, probably one of the most famous images that you'll see from D-Day. Soldiers coming out of the Higgins boat, wading in the water. If you look closely enough, you can see the obstacles in the water, and then over the fog, you can see like the skyline there. That would be where the Atlantic Wall was. Okay, so just a couple more images for you. So Omaha is going to be secured in a little over a day. This is the largest amphibious attack in American history up until this point, and it's going to be a turning point for the Allies because they're going to be able to now move through France and eventually get into Belgium. Okay, so we're going to stop here for D Day. I hope you have a great night.